Yep, absolutely.
So what's going to be the outcome of this lawsuit?
The lawsuit, I brought the plans with me. I'll give them to you after dinner, let you see where everything lines up. The offer on the table from the Falcon side is they said, let's try to settle it. We've always had the ability through there was a purchase and sale contract.
Right.
Subsequent to the purchase and sale contract, there was an easement document
Right.
that incorporated some terms and conditions of the contract,
Right.
but always gave Falcon the ability to pay $350,000 and not build the proverbial road.
Right.
Pay the money back to the original landowner and say, see you.
Thanks very much.
I've found out under rule of law, typically the last document signed collects all the other documents into it. It incorporates it into it. But that becomes the prevailing document.
Right.
In that prevailing document, we preserve the right to give $350,000 and walk away. Right. So Falcon's offer, not much of an offer, is, well, look, we'll give you your $350,000. We'll give you an extra $100,000 for legal fees,
right.
And you go build the road as originally intended. Other than that, we go to court.
Right.
We'll wind up in court.
Wow.
That's not enough of an offer to do anything. It's just not.
And the guy can't afford to do it, or?
He can clearly afford to do it. His attorney has convinced him that the easement agreement, which incorporates all other agreements into it, is not valid in the eyes of the law. So that's what he's going to court on, to try to invalidate that easement agreement.
All right.
If he does, then he may win. He may win.
Wow.
But we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting test because...
How much is it? I mean, what's the...
Oh, the road? Well, it's only $750,000.
Oh, so I'm not talking about tons of it.
No, you're not. It's a little... It's a connector.
Right.
Connector from Main Street that runs maybe 300 feet.
Really?
Yeah. Not much to it.
Wow.
You know, conceivably, going to court, you could eat up $250,000.
Oh, easily. I was amazed. Did you see those legal fees for the alleged sunshine stuff?
Oh,
202
crap.
grand. You see Fussell's 50 grand, 49 grand some change.
And that was not a big...
And Dan didn't have any. Or if he had them, he didn't submit them.
That was not a big deal. I mean, that was a quick come down, meet with state's attorney,
Right.
assuming, I don't know, state attorney or whatever attorney does it. Talk to us. Harry Shorstein goes, you're fine, get out of here. That's a lot of money.
It was unbelievable, 202 grand.
You know, if you...
And I don't know why the paper doesn't, I mean, they just kind of reported it, but there was no, yeah, that's a symptom of a bigger problem, in my opinion. Yeah. See, I told Daniel a year ago that the locus of all the problems goes back to my belief of change. You know, how do you really make change? You know, we've had this discussion, the no problem government. Well, it's no problem because the bureaucrats run the place. And it's no problem to them because they have no intention of doing what you tell them to do. Because you're not going to be there long. Fuck you. That's what I call no problem government. And then you go in and you give me a little speech. Yeah, this is what I need you to do, department head. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, councilman. Yeah, absolutely. No problem. I got it.
And they're thinking...
You leave the councilman and says, man, I did a good job today. The guy's going, fucking idiot.
I can dodge this for 2 years, no problem.
All right. Well, and that's one of my core beliefs, is that if you are true, I mean, I feel like calling, Donald talks about change. Well, fucking Washington is bureaucratic heaven.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to change it? Tell me how you're going to change it. Tell me step by step how you're going to change it.
And when?
Just tell me how you're going to do it. And someone the other day said, well, you talked about change, so how do you do change? This is a guy who used to be the CEO of Johnson & Johnson. He's 76 years old. That much what
he's been there.
Yeah. And I said, change is it's no different in the public sector or private sector. Because you have, I was a fast track guy. And I come in and do a job for a year and a half, and then they sent me to other jobs so I could get trained to be a big job. And so I had a lot of guys who had no problem attitudes too, because they knew I was on the fast track, and I'd be out of here a year and a half, and fuck you, Charlie Brown. I said, so I learned this very quick. The first thing you do, the first day you show up, is you go out to the courtyard. You bring a big rope, and you throw it over a limb, and you hang somebody.
Just to get attention. Just to get attention.
It's a ceremonial execution. It's unfortunate, but then everybody's alert at that.
They pay attention.
Whoops, and you hang the biggest guy you can find.
Mm-hmm.
So what did we do on our first commission meeting? What did Ben Adams decide to do? He decided to resign.
Ah.
Now, why did Ben Adams resign? Had a 3-year contract, they signed it. Because after the primary, we met with Mr. Adams, or we had people meet with Mr. Adams. It's not important how these things happen.
They just happen.
And he said, you have a choice. Life is full of choices. You can resign, or you can be subject to an Attorney General investigation. What would you like me to do?
Which Mr. Adams?
And I had already leaked, if you go back to the Folio record, the Folio Weekly, you'll see that there was an article about Mr. Adams using St. Johns County stationery to raise funds for his hunt club.
Bingo.
We had more. So he decided to resign.
Time to go.
Then he sent the message, because if if you lose your pension, you lose everything. And do you want to run that risk?
When you resign?
No. When you are subject of a prosecution, which is one that works out. Otherwise, he's found guilty of abusing the powers of the office.
Wait a minute. You don't have indemnification up to the point in time that you have.
No.
So, let's say, what was that Congressman Jefferson that had money in the freezer?
That's a whole different story. I mean, that's the.
They can strip his pension?
Yeah, they have immunity. Oh, they could have. But we have convicted congressmen in prisons who get their pension today. Don't ask me why. It's just true.
How? True. Did they cooperate and take a lesser sentence?
No,
and then
doesn't make any difference. But at local level it does. But you have to understand, local level is very different than the rest of the world. The state has different rules, the Fed has different rules. Yeah. It's Animal Farm. Everybody's equal, but everybody's equal.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I did an introductory speech for Senator Nelson the other day. I did about 150 people. I got to tell you, that speech was fun. So he comes in at the meeting. He says that, it's a new board, new direction, and he's decided to move aside and resign. Blah 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 blah. We all thanks him for his dedicated years of service and the contributions that he has made to the county, which were extraordinary. And of course, he says, Commissioner, I got a 3-year contract. I said, we'll pay you.
He said this at the meeting or in private?
In private. I said, we'll pay you 3 months.
And he said?
Okay.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you.
So that was the first step.
That was the first public hanging.
Bring in the rope.
Yep.
Okay. And of course, we just, 9 people just left Health and Human Services this week.
Yeah.
So there's 5 spokes to the human resource. There's recruitment training, performance evaluation, compensation, and manpower planning. And the only way that you can create change is to make someone uncomfortable. So you're a superstar in transportation. And Betty Sue is a superstar in bridge and tunnel, whatever, who gives a shit? Recreation. And you sit them down, you say, you really have great potential, Bruce, and you can run this whole place. This could be yours someday. But you're really singularly focused. You don't have a breadth of experience. For your own good, I'm going to give you that job. And then she goes over there. Now you don't know what to do, and she doesn't know what to do. At which point, I give her the job description and I explain the job. And I can create true fundamental change. And that's what One Check understands, and that's what we're doing.
Interesting.
Systematically. Dave Williams, remember Dave Williams?
No.
The guy who used to run my Baywatch.
Oh. Bye-bye.
There was a whole slew of them. You have no idea.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, the Titanic is starting.
The ship is turning?
Oh, yeah. And there are people who are upset, Jim Bryant's upset, because he built this health and human service monster. He's a liberal, even though he's a Republican. He's a pharmacist, and he's in love with health care. We have this huge healthcare operation.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We do things that no one else in the state does. One county in the whole state does it.
St. John's.
St. John's, we do it.
Well, I remember when...
We do a lot of things that we shouldn't do.
Well, maybe it was a year ago, because, time is flying. Mm-hmm. There was an outlying dock in a box. I forget what you call them. Out in Palatka,
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Commissioner said close it.
Yep, we did.
Yeah, and you did.
Yep.
It saved...
Then I waited 3 weeks and I opened it again and I saved $500,000.
Yes.
And
the savings was huge.
By the end of this year, I'll save over $1 million.
Savings was huge.
Oh, yeah. But you only have two elements as a commissioner. You have policy and the allocation of capital. I've got two people who report to me, a county attorney and a county administrator. Both of them have contracts. So.
Who's the attorney now?
Patrick McCormick.
How's he doing?
He's okay.
Yeah.
Patrick is...
Good on policy?
Well, he's a military guy. He's a Navy guy, so he understands change of command.
Right.
And he understands, that he's bought into the concept that I look at him as the orchestra leader. His office has to take care of the mundane things that counties do. And then when we get in a situation where it requires a specific expertise, we go out and hire it, use it, shake their hand when they're done, and say, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. He's bought into that mentality. So
instead of owning it,
right.
Better to rent it.
Right. Well, certainly certain skill sets. There are certain things that the county has to do because we have to do it.
Better to rent it.
And other things, I'm trying to get... We have a couple of attorneys that we use that have done a pretty good job in trying to move their smaller firms. And I'm trying to move to retainers. Because we'll get more value for our money by having a retainer.
Oh, absolutely.
Hourly.
Yeah.
And the smaller firms tend to like it better because they get more predictability of cash flow.
You would think in this environment they would love it.
Yeah, so.
Have a steady job. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Everybody's billables are down.
That's the other thing. We put everything out for RFPs. We got $30 million in purchase services. Some of them hadn't been RFP'd in over 20 years.
Wow, that's not healthy.
I think I can save 10 to 15% in this environment. So you're talking $2 to $4.5 million. You're talking serious money.
So take that 2.5 to 4. Take the airport. Was that 3 or 4?
It's 4, but
okay.
Yeah.
So say it's 4.
Yeah. I'm going to get my mosquito control district.
Yeah, you'll get that back.
That'll save me $1.5 million to. So you're talking $10 million.
I was going to say you're 10 mil.
But you have to understand, you have to take the 10 mil in context. And the context, out of every $100 in property taxes paid in St. Johns County, $53 goes to the school system.
53%.
Yeah.
Now, 53% is going to the school system.
Right.
Is that enough money for the school to keep up, or are they efficient, or are they inefficient?
We're the #1 ranked school system in the region, so I guess we're doing as well. We're doing better than our neighbors. With the school system, like more money. Obviously, everybody likes more money. The ratios are: our school system is supported 1% by federal money, 32% by state money, and 67% by local citizens.
Good gosh.
All right, good lawyers, right. And that unfunded mandate on the education side, it used to be that the county residents used to pay 45%. So we've had a 22% or 50% increase over the last 4 years.
It would make a lot of counties want to run out and start their own lottery.
Right. But how many people look at their tax bill? How
They
many
don't.
people get their tax bill? Most taxes are escrowed.
They're buried.
Right. So out of every $100 worth of taxes you pay, $53 goes to the school system. But you don't understand that when you see $5,000.
No, you don't.
Okay. The next thing, where's the rest of the money go? Well, 5% goes to those independent taxing authorities. the airport, the mosquito control district, the inland navigation district, all these little things that we have that are independent. 5%, so $5. 6% goes into a transportation trust fund, so $6. So we can maintain our roads and all that kind of stuff. And then 28% goes into fire and police services. So the county controls 14%. $14 out of every $100 of taxes that you pay. So now no one understands this.
Crap.
Okay? So when I go out and save $4 to $5 million on my 14, this is very dramatic.
I mean, you've logarithmically.
Yeah, dramatic.
I mean, talk about accretive value.
Yeah,
that's huge.
And that's what we're doing. I'm saving $1 million by taking over my workman's comp this year alone. Man. I tell everybody all the time, I'm perfectly happy to be paid on commission. Pay me 10% of everything I raise or 10% of everything I save.
Everything I save.
And I'll be very happy.
That's the way I've always lived that way.
But it's amazing.
I don't want a paycheck.
We're going to save over 7 figures in our insurance this year. And that's the reason. I thought we had $1.5 million cushion.
But it went to insurance?
No, right now. I'm finishing all the budget, sheriff, everybody done
right.
in the macro paintbrush. I thought we had $1.5 million cushion. And that's funding all the retirement benefits. It's a total funding of our trust. I mean, the unfunded pension liabilities. The federal government, if they take the money that Social Security paid in, if they hadn't robbed it, we wouldn't be having a Social Security problem. Same thing in the city of Jacksonville.
I know that fund, yes.
We wouldn't have an unfunded pension liability,
yes.
which is Jacksonville does.
Which is
almost $1 billion.
Yeah, 900.
Whatever it is, a large number.
Yeah,
when
900 million.
When it gets that big, well, who cares?
Yeah.
But it's a drain on the general fund of $60 to $70 million just to tread water.
Just to stay neutral.
Just to tread water.
Holy crap.
See? You don't read about that? No.
I got into a general fund conversation. We were having some problems at the TUS committee when state changed reporting requirements. And I had a lot of time to spend with the attorneys over there. And they were talking about the pension and the treading water and how much it's taking out of the budget and where's the money going to come from and what do we do because that bird's coming home to roost real soon.
Well, you had to start funding it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did...
That's what they were saying. We got to figure out a way to fund this. It's coming.
So what we did was we funded 100% this year.
And you save?
Well, not what I saved this year. It's what I saved within 5 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Self-funding. So I don't have to put any more money into it ever.
Now
we as a commission, and I gave this speech, but this goes over the head of everybody basically. We as a commission could have deferred this and had future commissions having to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
But we are being fiscally prudent and responsible. And I had the PFM, which is our advisor, our financial advisor there. And I went through this whole thing about general revenue bonds and general obligation bonds, revenue bonds. You should really see it. It's pretty interesting.
Did they get it?
Well, they get it. But they were validating everything I was saying.
Okay.
And I said, how much do we improve our bond rating by doing this? And he said, it's the number one question right now that underwriters ask. Do you have a vested unfunded pension liability? And if you can say no, well, you go to the top of the list.
You just secured your position.
So I thought I had $1.5 million surplus. Now we come back with our new property appraisals, and we're down $500 million in appraised values, with the combination of the increase of 25 to 50 and all this kind of stuff. So $500 million. Our millage rate is 6. So 6 of a half bill is $3 million. So I went from $1.5 million surplus to $1.5 million deficit. So I go up to the county administrator. At first I had Ticketmaster do me the zip code analysis for the amphitheater.
Yeah.
It's over 60% good. The TDC is just going to pay for the whole thing. So $370,000 just came out of the general fund going over to the TDC.
Come on, baby. Yep.
And then, I've been wanting to spin off, I tell you this, the utility into
yes.
a separate authority. So we just put a 4.5% fee in, franchise fee.
Okay.
And have 40 million.
How much is, well, that's 1.6, yeah.
So I'm done.
Yeah, that takes care of that problem. And they'll never see it.
Well.
They'll, you'll get a little quibble, but you'll never see it.
Oh, I'm getting pushback from my utility department.
Why?
Because they have to raise their rates.
I was going to say, they're afraid of losing power and catching shit. Because, yeah.
They're afraid what? Someone's going to take your fucking business? Give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, the lights have to stay on.
Who's going to come in and do this? Nobody.
Nobody knows how.
But I'm getting pushback from my own department right now.
That's brilliant.
Mike goes, he looks at me, and the budget director looks at me and goes, okay, that'll work. To write this memo. I got to read it to you because it's really pretty funny.
May I take that now?
You may. Thank you. It was delicious.
Wonderful.
We got menus tonight, Joey?
Certainly.
Perfect.
Chris, I'll bring them right away.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
He's got to get home.
Yeah. Mamacita, last day of school.
Ah.
Expecting an email sometime tonight saying, I'm done.
Is that the fire drill or what?
Telephone.
So, Jess,
Someone forgot to hang the phone up.
so, this is a memo from our Office and Management budget to Bill, who's the director
Utilities.
of the utility. After further discussion, review of the survey information in the direction of the chair.
Did he put that in quotes?
Yeah, no, the direction of the chair. The following changes are recommended for creating a governmental utility authority. Change 2.5% to 4.5% of annual authority user revenue paid to the county and projected to begin at $1,530,000 per year and increase to over $2 million by year 5.
I love it, in direction of the chair. I'm surprised you didn't put that in italics or something.
It's funny.
That's good.
Well, JEA pays 8%. And remember, I'm giving them assets. I haven't charged them for the assets. If I sold it to a third-party private corporation, they'd be paying property tax.
Mm-hmm. What would that utility sell for if it went to a third party?
You could.
No, I'm saying, what would it bring?
Oh, it would bring a multiple of revenues. Obviously. My problem is we gave away so much service area.
Yeah, you did.
So
yeah,
the only
in
way,
that JEA agreement.
Yeah, the only way I'm going to get it back, because I'm going to be the chairman of the authority, of course.
That's not a bad deal.
Well, not paid at this point.
Yeah, but I mean that's a good platform.
I have to go out and acquire. See, all the contracts with JEA are termed contracts, and the formula, the repurchase formula, is built into the contract.
Well, here.
So I'm going, and they have cash flow issues right now.
Well, do I need to squeeze them? Do I need to squeeze JEA?
Oh, squeeze them as hard as you can. They have cash flow issues.
Oh, we need to talk about this.
No problem.
We need to talk about this because
I know their numbers left and right.
No, here.
Because I'm getting ready to go once I get this into a separate authority, I'm going to go back and reacquire the territory.
No, they've been asking me for right-of-way through Twin Creeks on their side of the road, and they want this, they want that.
County wants it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Once I get it spin off, you want to do? I won't permit it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Ultimately the county has to give away the service territory.
Interesting.
I'm trying to get Nocatee back. I'm trying to get them all back.
Yeah.
It's monopoly.
We'll have to get.
Why would you not want to be in the monopoly business?
We will have to get with McClure.
Well, I got this whole thing here. I've started to mark it up.
Oh, good. We'll have to get with McClure, go through the utility issues, because I mean we're in the thick of it. We are right in the thick of it.
We have got to go through and mark up this entire agreement.
See, the deal is because the north part of Twin Creeks is on the JEA side of things. They're demanding right-of-way, they're demanding construction easement, they're demanding permanent thoroughfares. I'm going, we can talk about this, guys.
I agree. I've started to mark this up. We need to get George, and you, and I, and we need to go through it.
And put that on the agenda next week.
Well, that's a different agenda. You don't need McCormick in that.
No, but I'm saying, along with McCormick thing, we can have a separate meeting next week to do that thing.
Yeah, I mean, we got to go with George, because I got all this stuff, going back over a year now, that we have to figure out. And, you know, I took those plans and I looked at them, and I have some suggestions. I thought, here's all your public filings, I have all those things too. And I gave him the one check, because we got to get Mike engaged in this conversation on how we're going to, you know, I just wrote a letter to Pelham about hopefully getting them out of the review business when I'm altering the mix.
You think he'll go for that?
I don't know, the analogy that I used
That'd be great. That'd be great, please.
This is beyond great.
He's been the Antichrist here lately.
He likes me.
Well,
We have good discussions.
I don't know how good that is, but that's fine.
Hey, I said the butterfly.
Fine. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
If that made him happy, then God bless.
What I'm saying is that if you've given me an approval to carry 1,000 pounds in my truck, and I told you that 800 pounds was going to be potatoes, and 200 pounds was going to be tomatoes, but you've given me a permission for 1,000 pounds, and I come back to you and I said I want it to be 400 potatoes and 600 pounds of tomatoes. You shouldn't care.
You shouldn't.
And
Should
by
make
the
no
way,
difference.
my property tax is 89.11, and then unless I get my tomatoes, I mean, it's a really cute letter.